Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of Lankert the Mike Live, another Habs post-game show here. And the Montreal Canadiens won another game against the Winnipeg Jets to take a 3-0 series lead. And they have now won 6 playoff games in a row when they barely were able to win 3 in a row in the regular season this year. And this is also some history being made here. The longest streak that the Habs have had without trailing since 19. Let me get this right. Where is it in my notes here? Gotta find it. Might have lost it. 1978, I want to say. I might have to double check that. But either way, the Habs have not essentially, since 1978, there you go. The Habs have not gone this long without trailing in the playoffs since 1978 from the stadium. 9 to go, indeed, in the comment section. 9 more wins to a Stanley Cup, but 1 more win to close out the Winnipeg Jets. Unlike the Toronto Maple Leafs, they failed to close out the Habs in round 1. So let's focus first on this one more game that the Habs have to do to close out the Winnipeg Jets to avoid going back to Winnipeg and avoid having Mark Scheifele return to the series. And just the second game in front of fans at the Bell Center, just remarkable, just amazing, honestly, to see the Habs, the Habs feeding off the energy from the crowd again, scoring the first goal again for the 6th time in a row. I mean, if you score the first goal, you win, right? It should be that simple, right? That's how important scoring the first goal is in these playoffs. And as you can tell, my playoff beard is okay, maybe not as full as it could be, but it's still, it's still in growing to its fullest form. But yeah, man, look, Corey Perry, Yoel Armia, the first start tonight with 2 goals. Yoel Armia, as we all know, doesn't score 1 goal. He always scores 2 goals or 0 goals. And Eric Staal, again, getting the job done. Again, every time they're on the ice, they were effective and noticeable, making stuff happen and scoring the first goal in this game. It was Corey Perry. It was, first of all, it was a turnover in the neutral zone caused by Philip Deneau on Kyle Connor. Habs go back the other way, led by Corey Perry on the rush, doing just what he does so well, holding the puck, freezing, going behind the net, seeing what else is up. The first try didn't work, but then Yoel Armia, Eric Staal win the puck battle. Staal feeds Perry coming from back around the net, and Armia goes right to the front of the net, right to the front of Connor Hellebuyck, and Corey Perry just buried it, and Connor Hellebuyck didn't see anything. It's almost like if you get pucks to the net, get traffic to the net, get pucks to the net with traffic in front, you'll score goals, right? Who would have thought? And that's exactly what that line is doing of Staal, Perry, and Armia. They're taking advantage of mismatches, by the way. I forgot to change my chair out. Hopefully that's not a bad luck thing. But yeah, I'm in my squeakier, noisier chair tonight. But anyway, I was out in the heat all day, so my mind's a little fuzzy. I'm at the beach. When was the last time? I don't think I've ever been out at a beach in Canada the day of a Habs playoff game. I don't think that's ever happened before. But anyway, so what that line does so well, they don't skate. We all know that. Like Eric Staal freaking turtling his way on 2 breakaways, just going really, just barely, just really slow on 2 breakaway attempts in game 2, rather. And just that whole line, what they do, they don't skate, but what they do is they use their size. They protect the puck. Like I said, they get bodies to the net and they get pucks to the net. It's that simple. That's all. It's really that simple. That's how you score goals in the playoffs. But the best thing is that the other lines did the same thing. The other lines did the exact same thing. How did Lehkonen score his goal in the second period? Deneau, Gallagher to the net, Deneau to the net, whack 1, whack 2, whack 3. Lehkonen finally buries it on Connor Hellebuyck to put the Habs up 2-0 now. Yeah, just both Deneau, who Hellebuyck had to make a great save on Deneau, but yeah, just Lehkonen on the 3rd, 4th, whatever many hack it was, buried it on Connor Hellebuyck. And then the very next shift, Suzuki, Caulfield, Toffoli doing the same thing, getting bodies to the net. Just like the Staal line, just like the Deneau line with the Lehkonen goal, who, by the way, is doing a phenomenal job filling in for Jake Evans. Obviously, wish the best for Jake Evans. Hope he makes a long recovery. But Artturi Lehkonen has done a phenomenal job drawing in for Jake Evans on that line with Danault and Gallagher. And they had their best offensive game tonight, I found. I mean, Gallagher got the goal in Game 7, but they haven't that line hasn't. Gallagher scored a power play goal, which was good against tonight. The power play got another goal tonight, which we'll get to in a little bit, and I'll get to your comments in a little bit as well in the comment section. But yeah, just Lehkonen, that Danault Gallagher Lehkonen goal got, I think, their first even strength point of the series, and again, just getting bodies to the net, hacking away at loose pucks, getting them towards the net and burying it. And that made it 2-0. And then the penalty kill again, phenomenal. Another shorthanded goal. Yoel Armia, as much as he gets talked about as a guy on the line of Stahl and Perry, is an extremely valuable penalty killer. He cut off. He did a great job cutting off the pass by Stastny attempted to the point. And he cut that off, went in on a 2-on-1 with Paul Byron, did the right thing, did not look for he looked at Paul Byron, took the time and space that he had, considered the pass, wasn't quite there, but then did a nice toe drag, buried it glove side on Connor Hellebuyck, and then took a cross check from Paul Stastny, which put the Habs on a power play. They didn't score on that one, but they would score later in the game. Then the Jets started getting some life. At this point, 3-0. The Jets started getting a little bit of life here with Adam Lowry getting a nice pass from Matthew Perreault. I didn't love this play. Carey Price was also phenomenal. This man right here was once again phenomenal, getting into the Jets' heads. I don't think he had to make any spectacular saves per se. He did make a really, really nice save on Adam Lowry in the first period where Petrie had pinched or not pinched, but he joined the rush in the offensive zone. Petrie, by the way, out with seemingly a pinky injury. The Habs survived in the third period. Kulak did a good enough job filling in for Jeff Petrie. I know I'm getting in a little bit of couple of tangents here, but Cole Caulfield didn't do a great job covering Petrie. He covered him, but he left his side open, the left side open, and shaded towards the same side as Toffoli and Edmondson, which left Adam Lowry wide open, backdoor, and Price just perfectly executed his read, perfectly executed his slide, got the CH logo of his jersey in front of Adam Lowry's stick and made a huge save look easy. And that's something that Carey Price does so well. And I don't know what player it was. I was saying this in my Habs intermission shows on Twitter at Mike Langer. Give me a follow there at Mike Langer on Twitter. But I was saying how I forget which superstar in the NHL was that said what makes Carey Price, or was asked what makes Carey Price look so good, or what makes him so good and so frustrating to play against. And he said, I forget who it was, but I know that he said was the fact that you'll think there's an opening on Carey Price, like you'll think you'll give your best shot, your best effort to put it by Carey Price, and he'll just it'll be right in his chest somehow. And that is what frustrates you. And that's what frustrated Kyle Connor in the third period when he had a good look. He got the puck in a dangerous spot, went forehand, backhand, tried roofing it underneath Price's arm, but Price got his glove arm tight underneath his shoulder, sealed the hole there, and just Kyle Connor was just looking up at the sky like, oh, man, how do I beat this guy? But they did beat Carey Price with a play. Going back to that now, at least I'm doing a nice job segueing. And again, getting to your comments in a sec. Don't just be patient there. I'll be there in a bit. But yeah, the Lowry goal was a nice pass from the corner. Very nice cross-seam pass from Matthew Perreault from the corner. But here's the problem, though. Brett Kulak and Josh Anderson, they were in that passing lane. They had those sticks. They had their sticks in the passing lane, or at least within stick length of that passing lane, and they could have cut it off, but they didn't, and that's how the Jets got their lone goal. But besides that, though, they did get a couple of posts also in the second period. Blake Wheeler and Nikolai Ehlers rang it off the crossbar, and you know you're desperate when you do what Blake Wheeler just did and celebrating a goal or celebrating hitting the post when you didn't score. So you know you're desperate when that happens, I guess. But at least look, the Habs again, 3-1 going into the third period. And honestly, I was given how the Habs were up 3-0 against the Leafs in Game 5, gave up a goal in the second period to Zach Hyman, and then blew that 3-1 lead. I was nervous going into this third period, and especially the Jets. They're a team that came back against the Oilers, who had them up 4-1. The Jets, like I was not confident that the game was far from over going to the third period, and especially with Jeff Petrie out. But the Habs, to their credit, and the Jets, they bombarded the Habs a little bit in that third period, outshooting them 14-8. At one point, though, the Habs only had 2 shots on net, but then the Habs they shut the door. They held the fort. Carey Price shut the door. The defense did not give anything too dangerous, and then the Habs, off of which power play was it? It was a high stick by Stassion Weber, which I think, it was clearly a high stick, but I wonder how much Ben Sherratt lifting Stastny's stick allowed for the high stick to happen. And then literally seconds into that power play, Edmondson at the point, rolls it down to Toffoli, rolls it down to Caulfield, makes a superb pass to Nick Suzuki in front, who had his stick ready to receive it, put it by Connor Hellebuyck, Habs up 4-1. And then some shenanigans after the whistle. The Jets started losing their cool. The Pierre-Luc Dubois cross-check. Brandon Gallagher went to the dressing room, which I was anxious about, but thankfully he came back and was seemingly okay. But then Josh Anderson, I don't love Josh Anderson getting a penalty there late, up 4-1, but then the Habs kill it off. Yoel Armia buries the empty netter, first star of the game. And one more thing I will say, though, before I get to your comments. Like I said, longest time the Habs have gone in the playoffs without trailing since 1978. Kulak stepping in for Jeff Petrie. Brett Kulak was, his stats? 15 minutes of ice time, a -1 and 1 hit, but he was good in the third period filling in. And Cole Caulfield shooting more. 5 shots on goal in game 2. And Lehkonen led the way with 7 shots on net, by the way. And Cole Caulfield where's Cole Caulfield here? 6 shots on net after 5 in game 2. So to me, Cole Caulfield is, look, the knock on Cole Caulfield is him being able to find time and space. But clearly we've seen he can find time and space, and not only find time and space, but create time and space for himself, and also set up his line mates. He made a superb pass to Corey Perry in the second period as well. Just Corey Perry took a friggin' wind up, went for the clapper, but missed the net. But Cole Caulfield dazzled his way into the zone and made that play for Corey Perry. But to me, the issue with Cole Caulfield now is just NHL goaltenders, Connor Hellebuyck, Jack Campbell, Jacob Markstrom. They're a lot better than the goalies in the NCAA and John Wall in the AHL. So I think that's part of what Cole Caulfield has to figure out. But as long as he keeps shooting the puck on net, and as long as he keeps challenging goaltenders, he will score goals. It's just a matter of time, and he will figure it out, and he will be just fine. He'll be more than just fine in the NHL. So I ranted on enough here. Let's get to your comments, guys, here. Thanks for waiting, and I hope you enjoy my commentary as usual. Give me a big thumbs up if you do. Let's start from the top. Like I said, from the stadium, 9 wins to go, but let's focus on the one to close out the Jets here and move on to round 2. Sheldon Weisberg, Armia, and Perry are masters of keeping the puck away with their bodies. I wouldn't say it's keeping away. It's a matter of them using their size to protect the puck away from danger. That's what it is. Sheldon Weisberg is Hellebuyck playing too deep in his net. To me, with Hellebuyck, he's a bit of a strange goaltender, honestly. He's a strange goaltender, not only with his, pregame, like this routine that he does before every game, like warming up his peripheral vision. I understand completely why he does it. It just looks weird, looks funny, but also looks cool. I would say the issue with Hellebuyck is just, I think the Habs are getting in his head with how they're making his life miserable, especially after tonight, with how much traffic they created in the crease. And I don't think it's an issue of him playing too deep in his net, because he is a big goalie at like 6'4", 6'5". I would say, same way I criticized Jack Campbell in round 1, he's giving up a couple of big rebounds in this series as well. But I would say mostly the reason why Hellebuyck is, I wouldn't even say struggling, is just, look, the Habs are doing a great job getting bodies in front of the net. That's it, and I think, and that's what he's dealing with right now. Papa Langer in the comment section. Last time the Habs were playing playoff hockey in June was 1993. Just saying. And the last time I think the Habs had a 3-0 series lead in round 2 was also in 1993. Just saying that as well. Thanks for the shout out there, Dad. And shout out also to all the Habs fans that paid whatever they had to pay to get into the Bell Center and cheer on the Montreal Canadiens. And from inside the Bell Center, outside the Bell Center, and just a phenomenal job, just cheering, being loud, making 2,500 sound like 25,000. Shout out to all Habs fans, including Cousin Langer and his friend Eric Heff from Inside the Crease podcast. So big shout out to them as well, and all other fans that went to the game. Ultimate Hab, love it. Habs are playing so well. This is when I enjoy being wrong. Me too. I don't think any of us thought the Habs would go this far. Never mind win a playoff series, but have a 3-0 series lead in round 2 on the Winnipeg Jets, who are shorthanded, but they got Stastny back, but they're still missing DeMello and Scheifele, but they deserve to be missing Scheifele. Randy and hey Langer, what a night. Ole Ole from the 2,500 fans sound like a symphony. So the Oles always drove me nuts when they would be done too early because the Habs are up 4-1. They're up 4-1 when the Bell Center started Olaying. It's like, did you not see what happened to the Edmonton Oilers in round 1 against the Jets? The Jets, they could come back from down 4-1. So don't Ole just yet. It's too early. But after the Armia goal, yes, Ole all you want. And to me, what was more of a symphony, what's more awesome to me is think of this. When was the last time the Habs won a playoff game at the Bell Center comfortably enough to have a 1-minute long ovation when Michel Lacroix is like, dernière minute de jeu dans la troisième période, last minute play in the third period, and then the crowd just roars, cheers, towels waving for an entire, getting goosebumps just talking about it, towels waving for the entire last minute of the third period because the Habs are up by more than 2 or 3 goals. The same way they're up 5-1 tonight. When was the last time that happened? Probably 2014. I might have even been there at Game 3 against the Boston Bruins. Or even it might have been actually Game 5 against the New York Rangers in 2014. Again, I'm saying the last time the Habs won a playoff game at the Bell Center by a comfortable enough margin to have the Bell Center in a standing ovation for the last minute. That was probably the most favorite crowd moment, and to the point where Chris Cuthbert and Craig Simpson or whoever's calling the game shuts up for the last minute. So, when you're watching on TV, you get to appreciate how awesome the fans are. That is what stood out to me from the Bell Center crowd, probably the most. What's it called? Randy at Papa Langer, excellent point, deja vu. Sarah A, again, awesome Leafs fan. Thank you for joining the show, Sarah. Congrats again, being a good sport, given the congratulations to us Habs fans and the Montreal Canadiens for having a 3-0 series lead for the first time since 1993 in round 2. High stick on Byron was missed. Randy, high stick on Byron was missed as long as Habs didn't get injured, I hope. Again, not going to really talk about the officiating or complain at least about, because we have to talk about it, I guess, or we have to. But also, Brett Kulak butt ended. I think Andrew Kopp or someone in the corner in the first period. That didn't get called. Shea Weber high sticking. It was Paul Stastny high sticking. Shea Weber was kind of helped because Sherratt might have lifted his stick a little bit. That was a bit of a break, and the Habs got a goal seconds later on the power play. So at the end of the day, officiating, it's going to be crap regardless. It's just a matter of how bad, and it's always going to even out one way or another. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that. And yes, Sarah from Randy, welcome to the Habs victory party indeed. Once again, Randy, Armia is so underrated. Great steal for the breakaway toe drag goal. So I saw this on Twitter somewhere where, to me, Yoel Armia it's not that he's underrated. It's just he's perfectly rated for what he is. And that's a very inconsistent player who sometimes shows up but doesn't. But I will say this. His time playing with Eric Staal and Corey Perry has just, and then this is shout out to the guy on Twitter that said this. I forget who it was, but Yoel Armia's hockey sense by playing with Corey Perry and Eric Staal has just gone through the roof. And that is what has made Yoel Armia as good as he has been in these playoffs thus far. So that's what I'd say. Like that's I guess why you're saying Armia is underrated, Randy. And yeah, that was a great breakaway, a great interception, way to read the play. I will say he has always been tremendous on the penalty kill. Great toe drag, great goal by Yoel Armia. The Habs, again, pitched a shutout on the penalty kill, got a power play goal tonight. So special teams for the Habs are cooking once again in these playoffs. Sheldon Weisberg again, Suzuki basically assisted Caulfield by putting the puck in the net. I mean, I guess, but Caulfield assisted Suzuki by making a perfect pass to Suzuki's tape, and Suzuki just had to bury it in the net. So whatever, who cares? They just great play by the two young players to put the game out of reach. I think that was the 4-1 goal. So yeah, Randy N is Petrie fine. So here's the thing with Jeff Petrie. Here's how Jeff Petrie got hurt, by the way. So I think he got hit, and had his hand gliding against the glass in that area where there's the gap for the photographers in the corner, and his pinky got caught in that gap. So, and as he's going at full speed. And so that's how he got hurt. It's a hand injury, clearly. And he tried playing through it a couple of shifts in the second and early in the third. But then early in the third, they announced that, I don't know if he even played in the third, actually, but they announced early in the third that he would not be returning. Let's hope it is not a serious injury that would keep him out for game 4 tomorrow night. So that's the Jeff Petrie story. Ultimate Hab, Mike, you do a great job commentating. I like your excitability. Appreciate it, Ultimate Hab, and I appreciate you tuning in and your comments as well. Really appreciate it, Ultimate Hab. Randy N, they have to set up Cole Caulfield for one timer. Oh, so Randy, thank you so much for bringing that up. So here's something I want to talk about, because I want to talk about this, but thank you for reminding me, Randy. So after game 1, it was clear that someone told Cole Caulfield to shoot the puck more, because he had 5 or 6 shots on net in game 2. And as I mentioned, 6 shots on net tonight in game 3. But here's the thing, though. Another question was asked to Cole Caulfield. I think it was John Liu, of, when you're on the power play, your teams are kind of taking away your shot, your one-time chance. Is that frustrating to you? And Cole Caulfield said, yeah, or something along the lines of, yeah, it's expected, blah, blah, blah. The answer wasn't really relevant, honestly. But to me, the question was what was interesting, because how many times have we seen the Habs try to set up Cole Caulfield for a one-timer on the power play? How many times? I personally have seen maybe once, maybe twice. If anything, we've seen the Habs try to set up Cole Caulfield on his strong side or his non-one-time side on his right wing, as opposed to his left wing on the power play for a one-time option. So again, I don't know what that's about, because the Habs seem more than happy to just keep feeding Shea Weber with one-timer after one-timer after one-timer. And by the way, shout out to Jordy Ben, defenseman on the Jets, for taking a Shea Weber slap shot off the foot. But that's exactly that. Every time Shea Weber tees it up for a one-timer, it's either at the goalie's chest or it goes off. It just goes off a defenseman's skate or a shin pad or off Gallagher's wrist. So maybe set up Cole Caulfield for those one-timers instead of Shea Weber. But again, not going to rip into them too much, because they won 5-1. Again, have a 3-0 series lead. I'm going to keep saying that as much as I could. Sheldon Weisberg, Anakin Slade released a 2021 version of Rock the Sweater yesterday. Been on repeat all day. I have to check that out, Sheldon. Thank you so much for bringing that up. I have to check that out now. Randy N, all lines working, hoping for more from KK, Byron, and Anderson. So, yeah, honestly, we need a little bit more from Josh Anderson in this game. I will say, though, Josh Anderson threw his body around tonight. He had only 1 hit through game 1 and game 2, but tonight he had 6 and 2 shots on net. So we saw a little bit more from Josh Anderson tonight, which was good, but we still need to see more. We need to see him break up that pass that led to the goal by Adam Lowry. We need to see Josh Anderson, if he gets a chance to shoot, put it on net. We need to see him in Connor Hellebuyck's lap, like he was with Kotkaniemi in game 2. Not to say that Kotkaniemi and Anderson were bad tonight, but they were the 4th best line on the Montreal Canadiens tonight. And if the Habs, if this were to be a tighter hockey game, they probably would have had to have been better for the Habs to win tonight. Where am I? Ultimate Hab. I love the geriatric line. I guess, is it the geriatric line? I thought it was the bearded line, the gray beard line, the 4th line. I don't know what you're referring to there, Ultimate Hab. I think that's the Byron Kotkaniemi Anderson line. Just clarify in the comment section there, Ultimate Hab. Randy N, might be the first time I see Armia in an interview now. I've seen him in an interview a couple of times, but probably not on this big of a stage for sure. And Sheldon Weisberg, yes, it was Game 5, the last time the Habs had a standing ovation in the last minute of a playoff game at the Bell Center. Yes, it was Game 5 versus the Rangers in 2014. Bork had a monster game back then. I think that was when Bork had a hat trick. Rene Bork. That was when Rene Bork. I don't know if I think they broke up the Bork Eller Gianta line by the third round there. But in round 1, the Eller Bork Gianta line in 2014 against the Lightning was money. But also because Anders Lindback kind of sucked. But again, Rene Bork, I think he had a hat trick in that Game 5 against the Rangers. Randy and lol, Craig Simpson never shuts up with his non-love for the Habs. I mean, look, honestly, again, I can't really criticize broadcasters because I'm trying to become a broadcaster and I'm not there yet. So I'm not in a place to really criticize them. But I will say, just look, I won't even say anything. Just I enjoy watching the game, and I'm just thankful that we get to watch hockey in a world of COVID-19 that is opening up. But I'm just thankful that we get to watch hockey, and I look forward also to I will say I do love Pierre Houd and Marc Denis, and I miss them. That's all I'll say. Where am I? Roger Delaney, once again, thanks for the love there, Roger. Great love. Great job, Mike. Great analysis and energy. Really appreciate that, Roger. Again, Roger is an OG subscriber and listener here, or viewer online. Great the mic. Really appreciate that, Roger. Luca Ramelli, let's hope Petrie leaving was just a precaution. I really hope so too. I really hope his pinky is straight and not in 3 different directions and not broken, but we'll see. Randy Lehkonen played hard tonight with his line mates. Like I said, yeah, Lehkonen did a phenomenal job filling in for Jake Evans these last 2 games. Ultimate Hab, Perry Stahl, Armia, lol. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the line you're referring to. I don't know if it's I guess you could call it the geriatric line. Chris Cuthbert and Craig Simpson called it the graybeard line. I don't know. Take your pick. You know what? Leave that. I don't know if I could run a poll here. Maybe leave in the comment section which one you prefer, the geriatric line or the graybeard line. You leave that in the comment section either live or after the fact. Sheldon Weisberg, yes, it was Rene Bork with the hat trick. Weiss took Gianta's spot in the right wing, and Gianta was the second line right winger with Plex and Chucky. My memory is good, but thank you for filling in those gaps there, Sheldon. Randy N, love the strategy of putting Deneau taking important faceoffs, just like the opening faceoff in Game 2, and got off the ice 9 seconds after, and KK got on. So here's something interesting, though. Ducharme didn't go with Deneau, Byron, and Anderson to start tonight. I think he started right away with Lehkonen, Deneau, and Gallagher right off the bat, which is interesting because usually when you win 5 playoff games in a row, you stick with the same starting lineup. But I don't think the Habs did not do that tonight, but they still won. So who cares? Ultimate Hab, oh, wow. I think you'd be great at broadcasting, Mike. Really appreciate that. I mean, look, that's what I'm doing a career program in right now while personal training. So, I guess I can wish myself all the best of luck. But yeah, Randy N missed the RDS coverage of Habs games. Yeah, I do miss the RDS coverage. I also miss listening to Pierre Houd, just the way he announces games. I love watching the game in French. Nothing against Philly C game, but I do prefer just Pierre Houd and the RDS team because I grew up watching Habs games, watching Pierre Houd and the RDS team cover Habs games. But I do, yeah, and also love practicing my French. So yeah, all the more reason. Luca Ramelli, if Petrie is not 100%, I say keep him out and bring Romanov in for tomorrow. So you're not going to like this, Luca, and anyone else tuning in that is cheering for Romanov to get into the lineup. But I think the writing's on the wall where Romanov is just not going to get into the lineup in these playoffs. I really just think he's not going to get into the lineup because I would not be surprised if Ouellette comes in because for whatever reason, like, look, Ouellette played in the bubble last year, so he kind of knows what it's like to play in these games with this high intensity. And also don't rule out John Merrill, who's out with an injury, but maybe he could come back at some point soon. I don't even know if he's skating yet, but yeah, I would not be surprised if it's Ouellette coming in for Romanov. Not that I would agree with it, but yeah. But you know what? Then again, all of the decisions that Dominique Ducharme and Alex Burrows and Luke Richardson have made since Game 5 of the Toronto series have worked. So yeah, that's all I'll say. And I think that's all we have for today's show here. Not really much. Just want to see if there's something else I wanted to hit on. Pretty much cover it all. Yeah, that's all we have here on this Habs-Jets post-game show here on Langer at the mic. As usual, give me a big thumbs up if you enjoy my commentary, which a lot of people here do seemingly, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in. thank you. And but yeah, if you do enjoy it, give me a big thumbs up here. Give me a follow on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike Langer for all three. I'm honestly surprised I have this much energy after being outside in the heat all day. But yeah, like I said, I don't think I've ever been on a beach in Canada the same day the Habs played a playoff game. But yeah, give me a follow Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at Mike Langer for all three. And give me a subscribe here to my Langer at the Mike channel. A couple of last comments here. There's a Mama Langer. I never like anything called geriatric, I guess, whatever. And Brother Langer is getting a kick of it, though. Must be an age thing, I guess. I don't know. Leave your opinions in the comment section. And Sheldon Weisberg, also Canada won the double IHF World Championships. Yes, shout out to Team Canada and the Ottawa Senators. Yes, it was the Ottawa Senators, Nick Paul and Connor Brown, teaming up to lead Canada to victory over Finland at the double IHF World Championships. So Canada won. Team Canada won, and Canada's team won. The Habs beat the Jets 5-1, have a 3-0 series lead. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. That's all we have, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow night after Game 4. Go Habs, go!